And then the reason why I said I was born on that stage was because, bro, like, my hand was like with my phone just like shaking like this. I had sweat dripping down my back, bro. Nobody could really see it except myself because I remember what it felt like being on that stage.
Yeah.
Once I got off and I realized that people were still clapping, I was just like, yo, that's the last time I ever want to feel that fucking nervous again in my life.
Look, Henny Lemonade Samba, self-made, that's Taylor. Bad bitch from Manila, but the fine seats in my villa.
Shooting buckets of Corona with that hookah.
Ay, ballin', I'm in the NBA. College girls around me, NCAA. I ain't holding nothing back, Kobe fade away. I ain't holding nothing back, no vertebrae. By the way, SPE forever, get it wetter, dripping, I ain't sweating, only swaver, Bishop did the tape.
All right, how you doing today, man?
Man, I gotta tell you, bro. Just before this interview started, bro, I could not stop laughing with you, bro. Like, this shit.
We stay having a good time,
dog. Man, this shit got me excited for this interview, though. So
yeah, well, glad to have you here, man.
Glad to be here.
I'm excited to talk about your music because I'm a big fan. I'm sure you know that, but you know, I'm trying to get it out there. You know?
Yeah, nah, man, of course. But I remember back in the days when like we would just like play like music and freestyle off of beats off of YouTube. So it feels good to like finally be here with like the music is on all platforms. You feel me? Got music videos on the way. You know, I got some more projects and shit. So yeah, bro, it feels cool to
most definitely
have the music there.
Moving up. All right, so we're gonna start off. Let people get to know you.
Yeah.
That might not know you. So can you tell us where you're from?
Yeah, bro. So I was born here in Oxnard, and I grew up in Palmdale. So I kind of get like the best of both worlds. You feel me? And all my family is from out here in the 805. So you know we representing.
Yeah.
And even now in Palmdale, bro, I got hella love out there too. So just moving back and forth from so many places, bro, it's just like it's been kind of cool seeing the different types of culture and just being able to connect with everybody in that way. So yeah. But mainly from Palmdale, 661. That's where you're from. Representing that too. But basically all of LA, baby. West Coast over there, everything. You know what I mean? West Coast over everything. So.
All right. So, speaking about LA and different areas, have you had any performances?
As of recently, nah. As of recently, nah. I haven't had any performances. Just kind of subtle interviews like this, you know what I mean, with just different owners of clubs, just to kind of line things up, you know, line up the schedule for this EP and this album that I'm about to drop. So
yeah, and speaking of those, I know you've been working. You did show me some
some
good
some
music
exclusive content
some
earlier.
Exclusives that
man,
would definitely
it's actually dropping tonight, bro. I'm actually gonna start promoting the so after that, bro, it's gonna be available for everybody.
I'm really excited for everybody to hear that because I was blown away. Like it's your most ambitious project, I would have to say, to date.
Thank you, bro.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the album prior to this was called Dragonese. So that was like my debut project, my freshman project. It's called Dragonese, Language of the Dragon. So I really fuck with, you know, Eastern philosophy culture. I'm trying to keep things on that side of the spectrum. But also I'm part of that, you know, I'm kind of representing, you know, all my Leos out there, you know. I know a lot of people that fuck with astrology signs and shit. So I started doing some research or whatever. And I found out that I was like in this cusp or whatever. It's called Leo Virgo or something like that. So it's like a Leo with Virgo tendencies.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like the best of both worlds because Kobe Bryant, Leo Virgo, Dom Kennedy, same cusp. But it's all like in that type of bracket. But I just feel like at times, you know, this is like a special type of personality, or we're like special type of people, you know, just how everybody else is in their own sort of way. But as far as like being able to diversify, you know, and adapt in a way that I feel like I can and others around me are able to do that. This is majorly like that project where it's just like you want to have music that you kind of turn up to, but at the same time you want to throw on that lo-fi, or you want to throw on something that you could just cruise to on something smooth. So I believe that the listeners will for sure you know, consider that as a part of, you know, my artistic approach, you know, to really make that happen, you know, as a feeling, as an emotion. So
Yeah, so you're gonna drop the first part.
Right. Yeah, so that first part is dropping tonight. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I got like a whole calendar of shit that I'm supposed to be dropping. You know, I just planned it out for the rest of August and September. But
And for the newer fans that want to find that, where can they look for your music?
Okay, so yeah, everywhere except SoundCloud. SoundCloud has like all my old shit. I'm not messing with that no more. We all moved up to bigger things, so put some respect on the brand, on the team, SPE, Spiritual Playground Entertainment. But if you want to find me and my other team members, so my name is my first and middle name. I'm sticking to that forever. You know, I usually go by some other random shit, you know.
C Diamond.
C Diamond.
Yeah.
Spiritual Playboy, you know, like some shit like in high school that you would just spit like on senior year on like a cipher or whatever. But nah, man, like kind of following the Isaiah Rashad, Kendrick Lamar type route, you know, where it's just like, it's my real name.
True to self.
Yeah, true to self. So you can just look me up on Apple Music, Spotify, TIDAL, even YouTube. I have my own topic channel, so it's just like all the music that I drop on all platforms, it already uploads itself. So all you gotta do is just search Christian Diego Dragonese or Christian Diego Leo. So that's the first part tonight.
Okay. All right. And you were talking about some older music. What's going on with that on SoundCloud?
Oh, the older music.
How long you been working, man?
Man, even at
even
at that point,
music, how long you been working, bro?
Man, even at that point, bro. What's it called? I already removed like half of my content, so I've already dropped like, let me see, 3 projects. One was an album, 2 was like 2 EPs, and like hella singles. You know, I remember it all kind of started out here in the 805. I moved out here in 2015. And I think that's when me and you, man, and we started working and shit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, them late nights.
Yeah.
I ended up bumping into a couple of homies that made music. Shout out Surrealist. And yeah, he was kind of like the start of how I was able to get into the shack and just start recording like my own sound and do shit, you know, with him. And he would kind of teach me the ropes. And at that point, I would go on my own time and kind of do shit independently. So at that point, once I got the hang of it, I had homies like my homie Still Johnny. He came from Palmdale to come fuck me one time, and we had a track together. And then even like some other people out here. Me and Marcus, actually, Omega Nova. Yeah, make sure to check out his shit.
Yeah, definitely. I know y'all were working on something for a little bit.
Man, we got something in the back burner.
Yeah.
Actually, like a joint album. Another like 2-piece project that me and him are kind of still fucking around with. But nah, man, as far as the older music goes on SoundCloud, just dropped a hella single called what's it called? The one that blew up, it's called What's Your Name? So that's the one that has like,
What's Your Name?
Yeah, that was on the Summer Sonder EP.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
older music. Yeah.
That was
okay.
the older music.
Yeah.
That shit
Man,
was hella crazy.
I gotta say, I remember like you sent me that the first what was it called? I don't remember the name of it, or even if you titled it, but it was C Diamond, something you sent to my email, and I was like blown away. Like I was like, yo, this dude is down. And we had freestyle and all that. And I always thought like there's something special there, but like when I heard that, I was like, he put this together so well. Yeah. Like this is legit.
And this was like something that was old.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Man, that's a trip, bro. It's kind of lyrics. It's kind of funny because like I know everybody does this, but like when you're chilling with your homies and y'all are just like, you know, freestyling in the whip or whoever you're with, and you just start recording voice memos on your phone. Yeah. To kind of like, you know, hear the shit, catch the vibe. I remember like listening to old voice memos from like 2015, 2016. Bro, like it's crazy kind of thinking that you're the shit then.
Right.
And then, you know, keeping that mentality and seeing where you're at now, it's just like, whoa, like it's a different league now. I'm in a different bracket where I have to kind of, you know, actually be this person where it's just like, I know I'm a lot better than I was back then, but in just holding a different mentality, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, it's a lot more vigorous out here. You really have to kind of be more in tune and grounded, you know, not as like vulgar and I'm this type of person, I'm so out here and I'm all this and all that. It's more just like let the music speak for itself because it's that good. You feel me? So you don't have to do the most.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So what do you think about other fellow artists like ones that have made it? You know, how do you feel like that compares? As
far as like local artists from like the 805 and like Palmdale and shit like that and LA.
Well, just in general, like other artists like I mean, I don't even want to throw names out there, but like big time artists that are, you know, making making it big, you know, doing the quote unquote mumble rap and all that.
Yeah.
And I know that you take a lot from Dom. So how do you view that? Like,
Man,
do you feel like you kind of need to sway that way, or
I feel like I kind of I kind of understand what you're trying to say in the way where it's just like, as far as all the new music that's coming out, how I feel about that. I mean, it all just kind of depends on like the mood and like where you at and, you know, who you with type shit. Because if you were the old head, you're not finna play like, you know, you know, whoever, you know, is going on right now. But for sure, my type of inspiration comes from, you know, like a Nipsey or a Dom or like a Larry June, you know, even though Primo Rice. But that's not only secularly that. It's more eclectic in the way where on the way to this interview, bro, I got dropped off, right? And we were playing and we're gonna boogie oogie oogie till we just can't boogie no more, right?
That was good.
Boogie no more. So that type of shit, right? I love the funk, man. I love G-funk. So even like 90s shit, Snoop Dogg, Tribe Called Quest, D'Angelo, Maxwell, like all things that just make you feel good and make you want to dance is my, you know, priority. Because there was this quote and Dom actually said this. He said in an interview that making music is kind of like a job of service. And you actually got people listening to you, you know, whether you believe it or not, whether it's here in like Cali or somewhere across the United States or Argentina, Japan. People are going to check out your shit, and it's just like put out what you want to see more out in the world. So I feel like when people listen to my music, it's more like something that you could play on a date, on the way to an interview, something just to like kind of get in your own zone, get in your own vibe, because I like to do that. You know what I mean? I don't want to portray, you know, this self-inflicting type of, oh man, I just want to, you know, go crazy out for this and pop that and sip this and all that. No, we about making money for the fam and, you know, for everybody else to eat, you know, not just yourself. So
yeah, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. I like that. But do you think there's a market for that? Like, or do you see yourself being underground like Nipsey or Dom your whole career?
You know what? Actually, just got back in touch with one of my closest childhood friends. Shout out Desmond, that's my boy right there. And he's kind of pushing me towards this lane where I have to, you know, kind of be more out there, because my whole vibe is like hella low key. Even like on Twitter, like social media and shit like that. Like, you can follow me on Instagram too. Check out my shit, Summer Fun Valentine. That's where you'll keep up with most of my music. Snapchat, shit private. And then Twitter, you can find me at Major Swaver. But even like on that, it's just hella low key, you know, just want to tweet things or like put out things that are like influential or like funny, you know, nothing that's too serious. But I just said something as that goes along the lines of ain't no such thing as too low key. You know, I don't ever think that a private life should be public. You know, I just think that everybody has their own things just like kind of going on, you know, in their life, and you know, whether they're good or bad, I just feel like if it's really real, you don't gotta post about it. And that's kind of been my mentality for the longest. So I really love that the music isn't out there for people to tear up. It's more just for people that really understand it to appreciate. So if word, you know, gets around, then hey man, we're doing something right.
So when did you start making music?
So like I mentioned, kind of started like the freestyles in high school. Everybody just wanted to be, you know, the next Nas or like the Tupac versus Biggie debate, and then just on the beat and just be like, you know, winners ain't cake, real estate, just trying to get my face on this bigger place. So, you know, whatever, like some random shit that you was just saying words to rhyme, like rat, cat, bat in that hat, you know, that type of shit. So I kind of started off with that, just kind of playing around. And actually, I had a high school sweetheart for a minute, and after me and her kind of just fell off, and I moved out here to the 805, you know, I started writing poetry because I found like a lot of like alone time, just chilling, and I really just started writing. I don't know what it was actually, the first actual thing that inspired me to grab like a journal and be like, yo, I want to just do this. But my first poem I ever wrote was called Faithful, and the first time I ever performed it, you was with me.
I got
and you got the video. I remember
the
that.
Poetry Lounge.
Yeah, the Poetry Lounge.
Detox all evil, your love is a body cleanse. Like the Buddha in his temple, I concentrate and meditate as I suspend all distractions. Love is war in your heart, I will defend again and again. To prove your love for me is heaven sent. To prove my love for you is not pretend. I vow to stay faithful to the end.
It was a beautiful experience because I felt like I was born on that stage.
Yeah.
You feel me? But the way it started was that my homegirl hit my DMs after I posted like a self YouTube video in my car, right? And she was like, "Yo, like you should go check out the Poetry Lounge. I think you'd be really good." And I was like, "What the fuck? Like tell me about it." Boom, boom. So then I got the information. Me and you was boys, right?
Yeah.
And then we put some money on the tank. We went out there, figured it out, paid the cover, got on the list, performed on the second half. And then the reason why I said I was born on that stage was because, bro, like, my hand was, like, with my phone just, like, shaking like this. I had sweat dripping down my back, bro. Nobody could really see it except myself because I remember what it felt like being on that stage.
Yeah.
Once I got off and I realized that people were still clapping, I was just like, yo, that's the last time I ever want to feel that fucking nervous again in my life. So I went ahead and I studied and I studied and I studied. What I understood was that the more that you understand your content and the more that you understand how real it is to you and the purpose and the intention that you want to have with it, the more effortless, words will flow through, the more effortless that you'll memorize these things because of how much is actually there instead of how much you want it to be there is a difference. So then after that, man, we just kind of, I just kind of went back and forth from Camarillo to LA, just hit more and more shows, and it was after like my third or fourth show that I got recognized.
Yeah.
So shout out to my homie King Q. He's still leading Patio Poetry.
Yeah.
He was
I remember that.
He was the first one to pick
happened.
me up and he said, "You're the one." For me, he said, you just got it, and I want to see your face on my poster. So he set me up with a photographer, and got the shoot in and got the dates, and I fucking sent it out to Palmdale, 805, LA, and then we had over like 100 people come from like Tri-Cities just to come fuck with me, on that Valentine's Day. On that Valentine's Day
remember
premiere.
that post.
Yeah, man, that shit was beautiful. So without that, I wouldn't be in this position to kind of keep on writing. But after that, it kind of went to like a dead stop because I was kind of going through some things. I was going to school, surgical technician and shit like that. Even like some got in a car accident too, and some love shit, But after all that, man, I kind of still came back around just to keep on writing. I never lost touch of that. It kind of inspired me in a way where it's just like I saw everybody else dropping music, dropping videos because they had it around, and what they had around, I saw that, in my opinion, not to say it wasn't good or it was good or not, but just that it wasn't what I would do if I had that opportunity.
Right.
So that's exactly kind of what I'm striving for, is that, man, moving up the ladder. And as soon as I get to that spot, like Hit Boy said this one time, he was like, "Y'all do y'all shit, but y'all ain't hard as us." So it's like, I'm not really mad that people are kind of coming up in this way quicker than I am, or that they're doing this and they're doing that. It's just because, like, I know who I am and, like, the type of shit that I put out. So as soon as we get there, man, we're going to put out this organic vision and just love and like peace, man. Everybody got something going on, bro. Don't be so heavy on everybody else, man. It's too much. I can't do that. Yeah.
All right. So where do you see future music going?
So
your future music.
My future music. For sure, some music videos, some features with artists that I fuck with that I feel like we would sound cool together. And man, hella shows, and then the merch. I want to start. I got some things on the back burner. I got some things, in my journal that I want to fuck with. Personally working on, but yeah, man, for sure, some more shows in LA. Even do like a US tour would be beautiful. And then, yeah, man, just see where that goes, because the end goal is really the poetry book, too. Right. So the music is like, man, like that's just like my whole vibe, just because I love to dance. I love to make music that can make people feel confident. But the poetry is also like that deeper, side that resonates with me a lot more, because for people that grew up with me, they know that, something happened to me when I was a kid. And that shit, kind of played a big part in like who I am in this way, where it's just like I understand what it's like to kind of go through a traumatic experience, and at the same time I understand what it's like to be a part of like the cool table, and that there's no real difference you know, between the way that human beings should interact with each other, you know. So that's kind of like the message I'm gonna be putting out at the shows. You know, it's just this whole universal love, but it ain't shit ain't corny about nothing, bro. I mean, we all gotta do what we gotta do, you know. I like hustling, you know. I like bitches that like to hustle, you know. I like my women that, you know, get the manicures and pedicures, and then, you know, my guys, like, they all solid, bro. We all solid. Everybody's like kind of planning their next goal, you know, or on this ambitious journey, you know. So ain't shit sweet about nothing ever, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a whole world out here, you know. There's fruits of life for us to bear, so why not take all of them, you know, and share the experience.
Now, for somebody that might just be getting started in music, doesn't know where to go with it, what advice would you give them as far as getting started?
I would say kind of get to know yourself and figure out how to describe yourself in as few words as possible. And at that point, fine tune how you want to express that message and who you are trying to touch, like the audience that you want to kind of reach out to. Or if you're just making music just to make music on your own, then by all means, knock yourself out. Like, that's just beautiful on its own. Show your parents, show your friends. But if you have a dream and you really want to, like, go for it, there's no looking back. You feel me? And there's no reason why you should be scared at all for whatever reason, because the fact that you already had this vision of seeing yourself on stage or seeing yourself make music. Denzel Washington once said this. He said, any good intention that you have is God's message to you, indicating already that it's yours. All you have to do is just claim it. So there's no reason why you should feel nervous if you have that ambition to pursue, you know, a radio gig, or pursue, you know, a videographer gig, or pursue this artistry, you know what I mean? Just the fact that you had sparked that passion, that idea, is a possibility for it to exist in this universe. You know what I mean? It's a possibility. The fact that you can imagine it means that it's possible. And that's the only thing that you need to worry about, is that it's possible. So there's going to be a lot of noise. There's going to be a lot of noise, even in your own head. So that's actually kind of why I brought this book right here. It's by Dr. Dennis Waitley.
What's that one about?
It's called The Psychology of Winning. So what this is about, it's kind of like a guide, an instructional guide to, you know, positive self-esteem, positive self-image, positive self-awareness, you know, kind of just being aware of, you know, some of the childhood traumatic experiences that you might have felt, or being aware of, you know, this abandonment or this shame or this burden that you felt at like 23 years old, or whatever age that you felt some sort of big experience. It makes you aware of that and the types of thoughts that you're thinking, and how to channel those negative thoughts into positive ones, and how that positive thinking process will, you know, reflect on your skin, your glow, your smile, your vibe, your aura, all of that. And then just having all of that intact, you could do so much. So as far as like my message to people that want to make music, man, that's beautiful. You know, I think you should do it. I think that there's enough to go around over here, and anybody that says that there isn't, it's just insecure, and they just don't know about true wealth. You feel me? Everybody's supposed to eat.
Say someone takes all of that, does all that, but can't afford it. You know, can't afford the interface, the computer, and all that stuff. Yeah. I know you personally took some different routes. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I got my own story. And that's kind of cool that you reminded me of that, because, you know, not everybody's going to have the money or the friend to kind of get to the studio or even create their own, and that's totally fine. I saw this TED Talk with Steve Lacy, and he mentioned and he spoke about, you know, how he was able to get with the internet, and how he was able to contribute and get awarded these Grammys, or even be up for a nomination, through just recording voice memos, you know, on his phone, through his amp and his guitar that he had since he was like 13, you know. But he just kind of kept on practicing, you know. And excuse me. But yeah, so I did some research, and I was just like, man, if he can have like an iPhone, like how I have an iPhone, and be as talented as I believe I am as talented, everybody should believe in themselves. But and make it to the Grammys or make it to have this brand name, you know, then there's got to be something that I can do with this $1,000 phone that I got, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, man, what is it? So I started doing some research and I found out about GarageBand, right? Mm-hmm. And this was back in like 2016. And yeah, so I've always just kind of been like a little tech savvy, and it like Will Smith said this one time. He was like, if I don't know the way, then I'll find a way. I'll make it, you know what I mean? So that was just kind of the same mentality that I had. Yeah. And it was just trial and error. So that's why there's no more music on SoundCloud as much, because that was like my trial and error period.
Okay.
So now
that was to figure it out.
Yeah. So now that the music is so official, and I know where my worth is at, there's no going back. That's how I record most of my music. That's how I've been doing it for like the past 2-3 years. And I finally found out the perfect format, you know, as far as mixing and mastering and getting the levels right.
Yeah, you be pumping them out,
bro. It's wild. And ever since I figured that out, you know, just of how quickly I can write, because I've been writing now since, you know, it's been like 5 years, you know, and this is like everyday type shit. And there's always something to say. I don't think I've ever had, except one time early in my first year, my first like writer's block experience. Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, so there's always something to say. There's always something to be inspired by, whether it's the color of this table, or the clicking sound of the pen, or the way that the rings, you know, click and they clank, and you think of bank, and you know, stank. And there's just different words.
Grabbing inspiration.
You just grabbing. It's just kind of climbing like this staircase, and that's how I educate, you know, my team, or educate people that are close to me as far as like my writing process goes. Is that if you're having quote unquote writer's block, first of all, you know, speak about the things that you want to happen, not the things that you don't want to happen. Right. So speaking things into existence. And then 2, if that does happen to come around, because not everybody's perfect, I'm not perfect, you know, I always think some negative shit, but if I ever stumble across that temporary, you know, fixation, just to remind myself of this technique that I came up with. It's called the staircase technique. So let's say that you can write anything, literally anything. You could grab a word from a book that you liked and it said profound, and you're like, I found a bad bitch, call it profound. You can literally break that down and take it wherever you want to. You could say found, and go on like grab a rhyming dictionary, look up what rhymes with found, or pick pro and describe what it would be to be considered a pro. You know, and then just take that to the next sentence, and then whatever sentence you come up with on that one, you can pick any sort of word that either rhymes with another word. That's how people create, like, you know, the onomatopoeia type shit, you know what I mean? Stay productive is the main word.
All right, so let's see. All right, so to close this out, let's get into your 2 projects you have coming up real quick.
That 2-part
where
EP.
they can find them and where they can find you.
Right. Okay. Cool. So, like I mentioned tonight, this is aired on Sunday, so it's coming out tonight. Tap in on my Instagram when you see this video. Summer Fine Valentine, and then my Twitter, Major Swaver, for updates on that. Leo, that's just gonna be a bop, man. I mean, super proud of this project. I feel like new music was needed, you know what I mean, for me even, because there's just so many changes. There's just so many opportunities of growth that I had to write out, and this shit was beautiful. So tap in, get to know my story. There's a lot of things I'm pretty sure y'all can relate to. So you can find me at Christian Diego, Apple Music, Spotify, TIDAL, YouTube, whatever you fucking with. Just fuck with me, and I got you. You know, it's all love, baby. And that's it, man.
All right, well, thanks for stopping by, man. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me, bro.
All right. Be on the lookout for that project.
Outside, baby.